Identify the genre of each of the following short selections. Newton's Law by Morton Mallon. After a life of studying the nanotransportation sciences, Professor Melton stumbles upon a major breakthrough. On April 20th, 2042, Melton discovers a way to transport particles at light speed across fixed distances. Now he can teleport from one location to another. Unfortunately, he also discovers that a teleporting body ages very rapidly. Can Melton solve this problem before his time is up? Is this an example of realistic fiction, historical fiction, biography, informational, science fiction, or autobiography? The Hard Way Out by Terry Vaughan. In this novel, Brian is struggling. After losing both of his parents in a tragic car accident, Brian is living at his aunt's house and sharing a room with his cousin. Basketball is his only escape. But after getting benched for low progress report grades, Brian's world shatters. Does he have it in him to improve his grades? Will Brian come to peace with his emotions? Can anyone help him? Would this be an example of realistic fiction, historical fiction, fantasy, poetry, informational, or autobiography? The Long Way Home, A Hitchhiker's Memoir by Marty Vaught. Marty Vaught describes his own travels from California to Florida, Florida to New York, and New York to California, all by hitchhiking. In this text, he describes his real-life experiences on the road, his kooky encounters, and what it's like to depend on the kindness of strangers. Realistic fiction, biography, fantasy, poetry, science fiction, autobiography. Bronze Star by Irwin Keane. World War II has been hard for Mama Connor. While her husband and 3 sons have been away at war, Mama Connor has had to fend for herself. She keeps the house together, raises money, and provides for baby Maple. The mood in town suddenly darkens when her neighbor Betsy loses one of her loved ones in battle. Realistic fiction, historical fiction, biography, poetry, informational, science fiction. There is a voice inside of you that whispers all day long. I feel that this is right for me. I know that this is wrong. No teacher, preacher, parent, friend, or wise man can decide what's right for you. Just listen to the voice that speaks inside. Realistic fiction, historical fiction, biography, fantasy, poetry, informational. Dolphins are friendly mammals that like warm climates. Fish are their main diet. Dolphins can be trained to do tricks and work well with humans. Realistic fiction, historical fiction, biography, informational, science fiction, autobiography. The Reign of Attila the Hun by Ed Reeves. Attila the Hun caused great trouble and suffering in both the Eastern and Western Roman empires in the 440s and 450s. He invaded and conquered territory in what would now be considered France and Italy, terrorizing the countryside along the way. This text tells the story of Attila's life. Realistic fiction, biography, fantasy, poetry, science fiction, autobiography. Dragon Rangers by P. Crisula. Uriah was a poor farm boy who lost his parents in the dragon wars of Garth. Nobody in town respected him much until he trained a rare silver dragon. Now he is the new leader of the Dragon Rangers. The fate of the world hinges on his ability to lead the Dragon Rangers against the evil Bat Riders of Bloodier. Will he succeed and save the world? Realistic fiction, historical fiction, biography, fantasy, poetry, informational.